Chris Kyle. Kyle wrote the book American Sniper and is considered to be the most lethal sniper in U.S. military history. Chris Kyle, thanks for talking with us.
Well, thank you, sir, for having me.
You said that you wrote this book to honor service members and their families for their sacrifice. Do you think the majority of Americans have even the slightest understanding of what war has done to families like yours?
No, sir, not at all. I think for the most part, they think everyone who comes home has problems, and then they don't even fully understand what goes on over there, that how horrific war actually is. Even though you have all this media embedded, it can't capture the raw emotions that these guys are feeling, and they can't even show all the graphic details that guys are living day to day.
You include things your wife wrote in this book. Why do you think it was so important that readers hear her side of all of this?
Well, one, it's for the civilians, because I'm trying to raise the awareness of the troops that when they deploy and go to war, it's not just them at war, it's also their family. Their family is having to go through all the hardships and the stresses, but also to raise awareness within the military that you're not just going out there maybe sacrificing your own life. There's also sacrifices still going on at home that, you know, you can serve in the military and have a good marriage, but you just need to be aware of it so you can take those steps to take care of it.
That sounds like you have an amazing wife. Well, one thing, in your book, you give several vivid accounts of what it's like to be in combat. And tell us what it's like when you're sitting there, you're a sniper, and you're sitting there about to pull the trigger in battle.
I mean, it's definitely, you're not trying to humanize that person. You're not thinking about them or their family or anything else. You know, when I was in those situations, the only thing I'm thinking of is trying to stop them from the act of violence that they were trying to commit on my guys, the allies, or the innocent civilians in those cities.
Something else you talk about, you say when you came home, your wife said you took off your cape. Well, how does someone like yourself who experienced the intense combat like you did come back and blend back into society?
Well, when you come home, you definitely let your guard down. You realize that you're not in a day-to-day threat anymore. And, you know, I'd stub my toe or break it going up and down the stairs, and then my wife would just laugh at me. But it does take a little bit of time to assimilate back into the hyper-awareness that you were overseas, back into being relaxed here. But we usually had quite a bit of time at home to where could try to, you know, deal with the stresses and then let them go and then be back to normal.
What is the thing you miss most about being an active duty Navy SEAL?
The guys, definitely the close-knit brotherhood that you have while you're there. The guys are everything in the world to you. They become your number one family. You know their every move, their every thought, and their actions.
Well, since Special Ops forces are known for their discretion, has there been any pushback or fallout from writing this book in such a public fashion?
There's definitely some of the guys who don't agree with me coming out with the book, and some of them have even asked me about it. But when I tell them what the book is actually about, that it's highlighting Mark Lee, Ryan, Job, making them into the heroes that they are, and the fact that my portion of the proceeds are going back to those families and to the vets, then they walk away with a better understanding.
Well, there's a new movie coming out soon called Act of Valor. I think some trailers ran during the Super Bowl, and it features active duty Navy SEALs as the main characters in the film. Can I get your thought on SEALs being more in the spotlight so often?
Well, it's definitely either military or politically driven. I mean, they're trying to increase their recruitment numbers and build on the Spec Ops forces, their size. But also anytime something high profile goes down, no matter if it's Democrat or Republican, they want to put it out there so they can take credit for it to help, you know, to boost their support. But yeah, the guys aren't super excited about always being in the political eye or the public eye, but it's going to happen.
Finally, Chris, what is the best way that the average American, folks like us, can help or honor, even acknowledge the sacrifices made by service members and their families during wartime?
Well, it's not even just wartime. I don't care if you served 1 year or if you did 35 years. You've served your country and you did an honorable job. And whether you were peace or war, you put it out there and you were willing to sign that blank check up to including your life. So these guys, you know, everyone's starting to come out now and say thank you, especially in the airports, but I'm trying to get people to take it another step forward. Let's show them thanks. And it's just little random acts of kindness, whether you want to mow their yard or babysit.